fascinating. I think the first thing that I think we have to talk about is what this means for Ninja and Shroud. To me, this is the most interesting point of it all.
Because of the money.
Well, I mean, yeah, because these deals were huge. They acquired two of the biggest streamers in the world, and less than 1 year in, the platform that they committed to stream to is no longer. And when I first saw the tweet or the announcement that Mixer was no more, my first thought was immediately, what does this mean for Ninja and Shroud, among others, but mostly Ninja and Shroud. And my first impression was this could be bad for them. I think for a lot of contracts that play out in the way that they do, where they've signed on to exclusivity to a platform over a number of years, they're not paid those amounts up front. Whatever Ninja was paid, he wasn't paid at the start of the contract and then he just holds it. They're almost always going to be paid increments, like maybe each month
10 million,
or after
10 million,
he's
like
done
a third at the start, a third in the middle, a third at the end, say, or like
something like
a
that
quarter
would be
every year.
A common structure. Yeah. So my initial thought was, I want to know what the contract terms were for if they sold the platform, if the platform shut down. My initial impression would be that they might only be getting paid for the hours that they have put in. But shortly after, it came out through a fairly respected industry leaker that loaded their management company along with Ninja and Shroud after an offer from Facebook to take them to the Facebook platform, said, nah, we're good. Pay us out the whole amount.
Okay.
In which case, they have just taken the biggest dub. I couldn't even conceive a bigger dub.
I heard they didn't get bought out for the whole amount. I heard they didn't get paid out the whole amount. They got bought out for a large portion of the whole amount. That Ninja got roughly 30 million and Shroud got 10. Which from everything we've heard sounds like, even if they'd already been paid out some, that would be maybe slightly less than the whole amount. But obviously, considering that now they can do whatever the hell they want, that's still a pretty ridiculous amount of money. But what I found even more interesting is that they turned down, apparently, an offer from Facebook that was double their existing amount with Mixer. Which, like,
this is
do that math.
Mind-blowing. It's minimum $60 million over probably 3 to 5 years. This is insane.
And that's like tap out money. That's just like, cool, I'm gone. I've gone to Barbados for the next rest of my life.
After I've just done my streaming deal for the next few years.
Exactly. Stream from Barbados.
It's absolutely insane that Facebook... One, I want to talk about the fact that Facebook would actually make them such a significant offer. Not even just to match their Mixer offer, but to give something so increased from what they were already working on when they saw the fact that it obviously didn't have the impact that Mixer desired.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's actually the craziest part of all, is that everyone, I think when they were looking at Mixer a few months into their whole thing with Ninja and Shroud, the general, I would say, industry perception was, oh, they must be regretting this. Because, you know, you saw, like, obviously people like Ninja and Shroud who were initially, like, they were pulling, 100K viewers over on Twitch and, maybe Shroud more like 50K. And then when they came to Mixer, they were down at like 1/10 of that. So obviously I think Mixer would have, when they signed them, understood they weren't going to get a 1-to-1 viewer crossover. But I don't think they would have thought it would have been a 90% decline. So the fact that that Facebook had that information and then still was like, we're going to actually offer you more money, either shows that A, they have way too much money and they don't care, or B, they just see so much potential in like gaming live streaming and they believe in it so strongly that they know that even though it's going to be an absolute loss move, it's still something that they're willing to do.
To me, it has to be B. It has to be B, because regardless of the fact that Facebook's obviously a massive company and their budgets are probably massive, I don't think a $30 to $60 million contract is still very significant. It's a big amount. It's a big amount to go to one person that isn't a diversified interest. And anyone that's signing off on that is going to have to be able to justify it in some way.
Yeah.
And justify it in some way doesn't mean that they're going to make back their money over the contract. They might not, but it might be justified in the fact that they've just snagged up, or it's worth the opportunity cost, or they're asserting their name more in the market. It might even be like the PR of Facebook having two of the biggest gamers in the world would be worth it. So I think there must have been some justification that it could be worth it, which is fascinating because it's quite clear that it wouldn't be worth it from a viewer perspective. So there must be some underlying inherent value that they're considering there.